Hi, welcome to Eric's Movie Corner. I'm Eric, and today I'm going to be giving you some found footage movie recommendations. The subject for this video was inspired by another YouTuber. She is a reactor who I enjoy immensely. Her screen name is Awkward Ashleigh, and a while ago she watched the movie The Blair Witch Project, and she did not like it. So, I'm a fan of the Blair Witch Project, but I know a whole bunch of other people that don't like it too. So at the time, I had the idea for this video, but I've been slacking on my YouTube channel lately, so I didn't get it done. But recently, I guess she hated the movie so much that she felt the need to make fun of it by making a parody video, as if she were the fourth member of the documentary crew whose footage was cut out of the Blair Witch Project. I gotta say, even as somebody who enjoys that movie, I thought her parody was pretty funny. So I'm gonna link it in the description. I highly recommend you go check it out, and while you're over there, watch some of her reactions. She's very good at it. So, my hope with this video is for it somehow to get in front of Ashleigh so she can go through this, because I really hope that just based on the Blair Witch Project, she doesn't stop watching all found footage movies, because they're not all the same. Now, I realize found footage isn't for everybody. Some people actually get motion sick if they watch found footage movies, so don't watch these if they're going to make you puke. That's not what I'm aiming for here. However, I'm going to speak directly to Ashleigh now. Ashleigh, if you're watching these, I would urge you to keep an open mind and maybe consider a couple of these titles for Halloween's next year. For those who don't watch Ashleigh, Halloween's is her October series, which she does going through a whole bunch of horror movies. Beans is her cat, so she named it after her. So yeah. I'm going to go through these found footage movies with the hope that Ashleigh will keep an open mind and watch a few of them. And for any of the rest of you watching this, I hope you take away some titles you haven't seen before too. With this list, as I did with my Possession movie list, I'm not going to put the Blair Witch Project on this list because, duh, it's number one. And that's not interesting. So I'm going to leave the Blair Witch Project off this list so that the top entry is a surprise. I'm gonna just say something about Blair Witch Project before I dive into the list, which is that I know some people that don't like this movie, and it's fine. Not everybody's gonna like every movie. However, I do want to acknowledge its importance in film history. That might sound a little pretentious, but I think it's true. Now, I know all you're going to get up in the comments, it wasn't the first, last broadcast came out before it, so did Cannibal Holocaust for that matter, but I think this movie is the one that inspired the rash of found footage movies that came after it, because it was made at the right time. It showed that you could take consumer level video equipment available to pretty much anybody and make a movie and be financially successful with it. I feel that it was important because it, with very little, I think it cost $50,000 to make and returned, I'm pretty sure, over $100 million at the box office. So it was incredibly financially successful, and it showed other filmmakers that, hey, you can take a camcorder and make some money if your movie's good enough. It's also significant because I have fond memories of this movie. I don't think people today who weren't around when it was theatrically released can understand the buzz that was around this movie when it came out, because this was at the dawn of the internet. You know, the internet wasn't something that everybody used yet, and the filmmakers used the internet to put out this fake trail of crumbs as if the events that happened in the movie were real. So you had all this. I think they even aired a faux documentary about it on television at some point, and the whole thing just created this enormous amount of buzz that got people to check it out in the theater. So, like it or don't like it, I think it holds an important place in film history, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. So, normally I do top 10 videos. I'm giving you more than 10 today. So, here we go. I'm going to start with a movie called Searching. This stars John Cho of Harold and Kumar fame. This movie is a little, I can understand if people are going to get up in the comments about including this on the found footage list. Searching is kind of a flavor of found footage. Well, let me back up a second. Before I get into this list, let me say something about found footage. A lot of people refer to found footage as a genre. It is not. Found footage is a style of filming. Now, the vast majority of found footage movies are in the horror genre. However, they don't have to be, and just because something's not a horror movie doesn't mean it's not found footage style. So, I would recommend that everybody keep that in mind when using their language. So to start this list, we have Searching, which is indeed not a horror movie. Some people might gripe about having it on this list because it's what's called a screen life movie, which is that the vast majority of the movie is watching somebody's computer screen. However, there are webcam video elements incorporated into that, so I consider this a flavor of found footage movie. And this one's pretty good. It's a thriller, and it's about a father whose daughter has gone missing, and he's on his computer doing research because the police don't seem to be awfully helpful. So he's on his own trying to do detective work, trying to track stuff down and figure out what happened to his daughter. I find it pretty compelling, so I recommend Searching. The next one on this list is called Exists. Exists is done by Eduardo Sanchez, who's the same director that did the Blair Witch Project. This one's about Bigfoot. So if you think a found footage movie about Bigfoot would be fun, check out Exists. The next one is about a couple of guys who get afflicted by something, thus the title of the movie. I'm not going to say what it is because it's kind of a spoiler, but unfortunately right now the only place you can watch this is on Paramount Plus. It really irritates me when something's exclusively behind somebody's paywall. You can't even buy it on disc right now. It's out of print. So I'm a little irked about that. However, I still recommend the movie. Afflicted, check it out. The next one on the list is called Chronicle. Chronicle is about 3 teens that have an encounter that gives them powers. And they use a camcorder to chronicle their abilities and how they choose to use them. It's pretty cool. Check out Chronicle. The next one on the list is a horror movie. It's called The Last Exorcism. It's about a guy who is actually a fraud. He pretends to do exorcisms and takes people's money for it. And he has a film crew with him to try and document it. And this is going to be his last one because he's given himself up as being a fake. But things don't go as planned. Check out The Last Exorcism. The next one on this list is called The Taking of Deborah Logan. I like this one because it starts as a documentary about Alzheimer's and goes on to become something completely different by the end of the movie. So I do recommend The Taking of Deborah Logan. The next movie on this list is Troll Hunter. Troll! This movie is Norwegian, and it is probably one of the higher budget movies on this list. There's a whole bunch of special effects involved. Troll Hunter is a good one. The basic premise is that in Norway, trolls are a part of folklore and have been for centuries, and turns out they're real. So this is that's the preface of that movie. I highly recommend Troll Hunter. It's a lot of fun. The next one on this list I wouldn't describe as fun. However, it is a very good horror movie called The Den. The Den is actually considered by some to be the first feature-length screen life film. It's about a woman who gets a grant to study online behavior of people and uses an online service called The Den, which lets you video chat with random strangers. This is a really intense horror movie, and if you watch it, you're probably going to think twice about interacting with strangers online. Up next, we have a Spanish language movie called Rec. That's R-E-C, short for record. The title of this movie has, it looks like a camcorder with a square brackets around it and a red dot. It says Rec. This movie is a good one. It's probably on, if you look up other found footage movie lists, it's on every single one of them because it's just that good. For those of you that don't like subtitles, sock it up and watch this one anyway because it's excellent. Next one on this list is definitely the highest budget movie on the found footage list. It's Cloverfield. According to Wikipedia, which may or may not be accurate, the budget on this movie was anywhere from $25 to $30 million, which is a lot of money for found footage. The reason I like this movie so much is that not only does it end up being pretty compelling once they get to what's actually going on, is that the first significant portion of the movie, it's like 20-30 minutes of this movie, is just somebody at a party with a camcorder talking to people. And they totally pull you in into the drama of what's going on between all the friends at this party. And you find yourself invested in with the drama that's going on between these people. And then all of a sudden, the shit hits the fan and things go south and it becomes something completely different. So I really love Cloverfield. I recommend that one. The next entry on this list is actually, I'm going to cheat. It's two movies. I'm going to put them together, and I have a good reason for it. It's going to be Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Activity 2. The reason I'm putting them together is that I think Paranormal Activity is a really good found footage movie. I also think Paranormal Activity 2 is a very good found footage movie. However, Paranormal Activity 2 makes Paranormal Activity better. The reason being, it's a prequel, and it shows you a direct link to the first movie and how it's involved in it. And then it gives you a little prologue afterwards that shows you some events that happen after the original Paranormal Activity movie. So I think they are a 1-2 punch that together, I would recommend watching them as a double feature. I think that they make each other stronger when watched together. So, Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Activity 2, I highly recommend. The rest of the series, hit and miss, but I definitely recommend those first two for sure. And then the last movie on this list is The Bay. I love this movie. This is a found footage movie about an event that happened in the Bay Area. I think it's supposed to be Chesapeake Bay. It is disturbing because it's something that might actually happen. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to spoil this for anybody. But I would highly recommend watching The Bay. I would probably classify this as a horror movie. I would put a subgenre on it, but again, I'm trying to stay out of spoiler territory, so just watch The Bay. It's a really good movie. I hope you enjoyed this list. If you did, do me a favor. Give me a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so you'll know when I put out something else. Thanks for stopping by Eric's Movie Corner. See you next time.